So I'm a huge fan of CrossFit, and I'll never forget meeting Jason Khalipa the first time, and I was in CrossFit for 4 years and ran into Jason, and what a disaster that conversation was, just because of nerves and being a fan, and I am a fan, and if you ever meet me, I love this sport, and I love the participants, and it's really overwhelming. Matter of fact, when I got the opportunity to coach Rich Froning, I'll never forget, I was asked, if I would be willing to come to Cookeville, and he invited me down, and the thing was, is at that time in November of 14, I hadn't been making any money in the sport at all. It was mostly to just validate a methodology. And Rich Froning had just finished the CrossFit Games and won his 4th individual title, but what he did in that Games was walked in that one long event. And I knew that I could make Rich Froning a better runner. I knew it. But the concern I had was, what if I made him a worse CrossFit athlete, right? Then my methodology would never hold up, right? But because I wasn't making any money, and that was the thing, is I just said, why not just go and hang out and spend some time with him before I ruin him as a CrossFitter, because I'm a fan, right? And that's what I did, is I really hoped that he wouldn't really become that bad in CrossFit after I went in, but it was mostly just to hang out. The thing is that in working with Rich, it built a lot of confidence, because I not only dramatically improved his running, I dramatically improved every lift that he was performing. All of his strength numbers went up, and that was a huge plus. Elite level athletes are very challenging. The expectation is very high, and it's very stressful. I'll give you a perfect example. So in April, I had just finished a track workout with Mat Fraser, and we were sitting in his house, we were sitting on the couch, and I'll never forget this, and very relaxed, and this is how the question comes. He points with his head leaning back on the couch, how can you make me win on that assault bike? Not get more fit, but to win. And now you want to be Mat Fraser's coach? You need to answer that. You can't just all of a sudden like buzz it in or call a friend, right? You need to answer. And it needs to make sense to him. You as a coach can never create doubt in an athlete, ever. Your job is to build their knowledge so they become confident. You can't ever not answer things like this. So the question is that how would you answer a question like that, right? You need to know. I mean, the key is for every coach, we must have knowledge. So the way I answered that is I told him, I said, Matt, you got to look at that piece of equipment, and what is it designed to do? What is it designed to do? You are moving your upper body at an aggressive pace. And what happens when you do that? You generate localized fatigue. And when that localized fatigue cannot clear, where does it go? It goes into the bloodstream. And when it hits the bloodstream, where does it go? To the largest muscle group in the body, the legs. The problem is, on the assault bike, you're also working your legs. And what are the legs doing? They're generating localized fatigue, and they're trying to clear that fatigue in the leg muscles, right? And when they can't, what happens? It goes into the bloodstream, and where does it try and go? To the upper body. But unfortunately, with an assault bike, it can't do that. So imagine your capacity on the assault bike. Is it limited because you're doing upper body and lower body at the same time? And he answers yes. I said, but what if I remove the fatigue being generated by your legs? Could your arms do more work? The answer is yes, and I absolutely agree. So why not, if we're trying to win on the assault bike, do some workouts that eliminate leg fatigue? And so I can increase my capacity with my upper body. Focus on training of just the movement of the arms on the assault bike in a variety of ways. The same thing holds true if I eliminate the use of the arms and just focus on the legs. Let's build capacity in the movement of cycling in just the legs. And then, of course, we have to bring it together in the third option, which is actually riding the bike. Well, that was the answer I gave him immediately.